Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Scotting Movies. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the best action films, in my mind, ever made. I'm giving you kind of a rating before I get into the movie. I know that's a little off, but I'll come back to the rating in a little bit. But this is going to be a great film. When you're talking about action movies, you kind of talk about before Die Hard and after Die Hard. It's not just some old school shoot 'em up relic from the 80s. It's the blueprint. It's the template that a lot of action movies today use. So that's the movie we're talking about is Die Hard. Let's break down why Die Hard isn't just great, why it's legendary. First, let's set the scene with a synopsis. John McClane is a New York cop with a busted marriage, zero chill. He flies over to Los Angeles to visit his estranged wife at her office Christmas party. While he's there, Hans Gruber, played by Alan Rickman, in full villain mode, crashes the party with a bunch of other terrorists who are really just high end thieves, but they're really, really good and really, really smart. They take over the skyscraper, hostages, guns, chaos, and who's the only guy that's not caught in the net? Of course, it's John McClane, the New York cop, played by Bruce Willis in this case, who happens to be barefoot. The reason is because a passenger on an airplane convinces him to take off his shoes and feel the carpet with his feet, and he'll feel more grounded than when he did when he was in the air. And that's when the terrorists take over, and so he spends the rest of the movie barefoot, which is just we'll get in that in a little bit. But armed with nothing but sarcasm, sweat, and some serious underdog energy, he is trying to uh, bring police to his cause who won't listen to what's going on except for one cop, and he's trying to save all the hostages, especially his wife, who's there. So, Die Hard. Let's talk Bruce Willis first. This is the moment that Bruce Willis stopped being the guy from Moonlighting, the television series that he starred on, and became a true action movie star. This was his claim to fame. Um, and what makes McClane work is that he's not the Terminator, right? He's not Rambo. He's just a guy. He's a police officer, sure, but he's just a normal guy. He swears a lot. He gets hurt a lot. He's not like one of the movie stars or the action heroes that can get shot 17 times and live through it. The guy gets hurt a lot. He's bleeding throughout the course of this movie, and he's pretty severely hurt at times. He somehow just keeps going. He's bleeding, he's limping, he's crawling through vents and glass, and all while cracking wise and barely hanging on. And you feel every punch he takes and every punch he gives, every fall, every win. He's sarcastic, he's pissed, he's relatable. That changed the action genre forever. Because believe it or not, before Die Hard, that kind of sarcastic, foul mouthed uh, action hero didn't exist. You had James Bond, who had a little bit of one-liner quips, usually puns about how the bad guy died, but that was it. That was all that James Bond did, and you had a couple of one-liner characters here and there, but you never had this kind of guy that just talked throughout the course of the movie in really sarcastic, foul-mouthed tones, and was truly relatable. It changed the action genre forever because it suddenly became a template for other movies to use. Let's talk about the villain in this movie. Hans Gruber, played by Alan Rickman. I believe this was even his first actual film. He was a Broadway trained theater actor for a long time, and he was hired as an unknown, and he nailed it. This is one of the best performances of a villain, maybe in action movie history. He is so good. He steps into this role like he's been doing it for years, and he's smooth. He's clever. He's cultured. He's lethal. He's the kind of guy who's going to shoot you in the face, but do it with a quote from Shakespeare and a smirk. And the thing about Alan Rickman's character Hans Gruber, uh, in a lot of lesser films, the screenplay has to give the villain something to do that's a little brainless, in order for the good guy to win. Uh, there's a lot of things like that where the screenplays take give us really dumb villains because there's no way for them to win, but they can't write it in a way that makes sense. In this case, Hans Gruber is very clever. He's very smart. And there's so many instances of this in the movie where he shows that he is on equal ground with John McClane. Even though at some points McClane has taken some rigged explosives and he leads the game, at other times Rickman's character Gruber has got the upper hand, and it kind of goes up and down throughout this movie. There's a scene where um, Gruber is caught by McClane's character. He has him pinned down with a gun aiming at him, and it seems like that would be the end. Gruber immediately puts on an American accent because his character is European German, I think, but he puts on an American accent and pretends like he's one of the hostages, and he escaped from the 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 actual villains, the actual terrorists. Uh, and it's really quick thinking because even though McClane doesn't actually believe him, he has to make sure that he is who he thinks he is. And so it's just this really great chess match between two very clever people. And you don't get that a lot in action films. And this is one of those that uh, it's not cartoony like a lot of other action films sometimes end up being. It's really smart people, really with really high stakes and murder on the line, death on the line. Um, I want to talk about the setting for a second because Die Hard wouldn't be Die Hard if we didn't talk about where it's taking place. It's in an office building, a skyscraper called the Nakatomi Plaza. It's practically a character in the film because you've got this cold, sterile, glassy tower of corporate greed, decked out in half-hearted Christmas cheer, and it becomes a battleground. The confinement of this one building ramps up the tension so much throughout the movie because McClane can't get out. I mean, he can go up floors, but through the elevator shaft and through vents and all of that, he's confined to this one tower while trying to reach help from police officers down below who are less than. I mean, if you want to bring a dumb person into this or the dumb people, it's the cops down below because they're always three steps behind and one step to the left. They don't know what's going on. There's no escape for McClane. There's no backup uh, except for the the incompetent cops down below. It's just McClane versus everyone else in a building where there's 20 terrorists. Um, so, what makes Die Hard special isn't just that it's good, it's that it changed everything about the action film. It gave us a new kind of hero, a new kind of villain, and a new way to shoot action. Every Trapped in a Blank with Bad Guys movie that came after, it's pretty much Die Hard DNA. Speed, it's Die Hard on a bus. Under Siege, Die Hard on a boat. Air Force One, you get the idea. Die Hard on a plane. It All of these movies that came after follow the Die Hard template because it was so good and had such an impact on the industry. Um, so let me get to what you probably came here for. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? um, it takes place on Christmas Eve. There's actual Christmas songs throughout, including on the score. Uh, and McClane is there's different settings where he when he kills a guy and sends him down the elevator shaft, he puts a Santa hat on his head and he writes on his shirt, "Now I've got a gun, ho ho ho." Uh, so it's not really a Christmas movie by the standards of like The Grinch or The Santa Claus or something where Christmas is the entire plot of the movie. This takes place on Christmas. Um, it's one though, like Home Alone, for example. Home Alone is not a Christmas movie, right? It's not Christmas as the subject. It's not about Santa Claus. It's not about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's about a little boy that's left at home and trying to defend his house against two intruders. It just happens to take place on Christmas, but we call it a Christmas movie. Why isn't Die Hard the same thing? Wouldn't Die Hard be a Christmas movie because it's set up on Christmas when all these things happen? So yes, it is a Christmas movie, just the same as Home Alone is. So let me wrap this up. Give it a grade here. It's the kind of movie that gets better every single time you watch it. It is so much fun. It is so intense. It has two of the best characters, the hero and the villain, that match wits and match arms and all these things. That it's really really fun to watch. It's brutal. It's very violent. Sometimes it's hard to watch because it's so violent. Bruce Willis gives a performance of his career. Alan Rickman redefines movie villains. Every action director since 1988 has been chasing its shadow. So, what has this been leading up to? This is an A plus. It's the second one I've given out. I don't know how many more I'll give for 1988, but this is an A plus movie. So, have you seen Die Hard? What do you think about it? Is it a Christmas movie? Uh, do you agree with my takes on how good and genre defining this is, or do you have some other take that you would want to share? That's it for today. Let me know what you think. Give me other movies to review. Thanks, everyone.